Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our Chanchi instructional talks. Tonight, I'm told that there's some sort of videos. Not tonight? Okay, then I have nothing to talk about. Tomorrow night. Okay. Well, let's go into Master YongHua's Chanchi instructions then.
也就是护持观世音菩萨。观世音菩萨怎么需要我们护持呢？
So Guanxin Bodhisattva sits in reverse. Where's 25? 295. In this current way place of ours,
也就是护持观世音。
Read back. So Guanxin Bodhisattva sits in reverse. In this current way place of ours, everyone comes together to protect and support it.
All right. 观世音菩萨怎么需要我们护持呢？
This is also just to protect and support Guanxin Bodhisattva. How does Guanxin Bodhisattva need our protection and support?
本来观世音菩萨是护持俺们个人的。
By nature, Guanxin Bodhisattva protects and supports each of us individually.
俺们怎么又要护持观世音菩萨？因为观世音菩萨在默默中护持俺们。
Why do we protect and support Guanxin Bodhisattva? Because Guanxin Bodhisattva quietly protects and supports us.
俺们对观世音菩萨应该发一种菩提心来建立道场。
We, towards Guanxin Bodhisattva, should bring forth a kind of Bodhi mind and come construct a way place.
建立道场呢，这就是护持观世音菩萨；弘扬佛法，这就是护持观世音菩萨。
Constructing a way place, this is just protecting and supporting Guanxin Bodhisattva. Propagating the Buddha Dharma, this is just protecting and supporting Guanxin Bodhisattva.
所以呢，咱们每一个人应该旅行的人呢，把那个旅行的钱拿来帮助道场，不要去旅行了。
Therefore, each one of us, those who are going to travel, should take the money for the trip and use it to help the way place. Do not go and travel.
应该去看戏的人，不要去看戏了，把这看戏的钱呢，拿来帮助道场。
Those who are going to the theater, do not go to the theater. Take the money for the theater and use it to help the way place.
应该吃点好东西的人，把这个买好东西这个钱呢省下来的，省下来帮助道场。
Those who are going to eat nice things, take the money for buying nice things and save it. Support it, save it to support the monastery.
你省一点帮助道场，他省一点帮助道场，这个众人从节省下来呀，就可以把这个道场成就了。
You save a little to help the way place. He saves a little to help the way place. When everyone saves like this, then this way place can be completed.
所以呀，这也就所谓继业成裘。继业，这个那个狐狸啊，这个地方这一块皮肤啊是最好的。
So this is what is meant by gathering axillary fur to make a fur coat. This part of the fox's skin is the best.
又轻啊又难，但是一个狐狸不能做一个皮袄，一定要很多的狐狸这个地方这个皮呀才能做一件衣服。
It is both lightweight and warming, but a single fox isn't enough to make a fur coat. It definitely requires the fur from under the armpits of many foxes to make just one garment.
继业成裘。咱们现在大家也都是继业成裘。
This is called gathering fur under the arm to make a fur coat. Now we are all gathering fur under the arm to make a fur coat.
成什么裘？我们这个成这个是人人所需要的这个裘。
What kind of fur coat are we making? We are making one that everyone needs.
这个皮袄就是道场，这个道场成就了以后，因为你来护持。
This fur coat, this is the way place. This way place will be established because you have come to protect and support it.
有人在这修道修成功了，成佛了，这都是你的功德，所以你。
In the future, people will cultivate the way here, accomplish the cultivation, and become Buddhas. This is all due to your meritorious service.
现在发一种菩提心，将来一定结菩提果的。
So now, when you bring forth this kind of Bodhi mind, in the future, you will definitely attain the fruition of Bodhi.
Okay, that's great. Old Chinese thinking. They want fur coats, and then one seeing Bodhisattva to support and protect you, and you to protect and support one seeing Bodhisattva. Okay, just my personal opinion. Please take it with a grain of salt, because this is not how the monks usually talk. The usually monk talk like Master YongHua and say, you should make sacrifices and give up everything to support the temple. That's your duty. And no wonder no young people want to come to the temple anymore, because we talk like this. Young people say, why should we support you again? What have you done for us? What have you done for our families, our children? What have you done for yourself? What have you accomplished? Times are hard, folks. Chungin Sunim, wake up. It's no longer your master's temple. It's no longer your master's Buddhism. It's no longer our master's Buddhism. Now people question everything we do. Why don't we wake up to that? First of all, I disagree with him right here. Oh, he's facing north? Oh no, I don't disagree with this. First of all, One Yin Bodhisattva does not need your support. So for me to say, you come to this temple, support the temple, you're supporting One Yin never told me that. It may be true, but he never told me, so I can't tell you that. I mean, we live in the age of science here. We need to have a sense of veracity in whatever we say. Do we really believe it? Is it really true? And does it stand up to scrutiny, especially from people who really have no faith? This is our reality. The young people, they don't believe anything anymore. They question us. They question everything we do, everything we say. So we better be careful when we say, you here, you support this temple, you support One Yin, you better say, One Yin said so. Okay, Chung Yin Sunim, is that clear? Stop speaking nonsense like this. Our generation, we have to change our way of speaking Dharma. We can't talk like this. I mean, to me, he keep on talking about turning wider reverse face out. Is it going? Which way I'm going? Am I going right? Okay. 295. Come protect and support the way place. Don't do that. Don't tell people to come and support you. It's just not cool. Who are you to ask the people come and support you? What have you done for society? All of you have to earn your place in society, and we here sitting here in our butt telling you to come and support us? You deserve to ask us, what have you done for us? What have you done for society? The times have changed. If we keep on thinking like this, behaving like this, no one comes to the temples anymore. They say, hey, it's all thinking. This is why, the Catholicism, the Judaism, and the Mormonism, they don't attract young people anymore, because they have this attitude where you're supposed to come and support us instead of what have we done to support you. Especially this year, we have a lot of young people. I know I prepared this speech already, and you did not want to play my video. So I have nothing to talk about tonight. We have young people coming, and I worry about them because I don't know where they came from. Where I came from, very different from where they came from. You don't take anything for granted. That's not how I grew up here in this Buddhism world. My master gave me nothing. I built everything in my own hands. I never asked for anything. Except maybe once or twice. I'm very, very ashamed of it. Don't ask people to come and support you, please, folks. monks and nuns, it's not worthy of you. It's unbecoming of you to ask people and come support you. It's just wrong. The principle is wrong. If people come support you, it's because you deserve it. It's called the law of a marketplace. If you are worthy of it, people will come and support you. You don't need to ask for it. It's a wrong premise. Oh, sorry, lady, you walked in the wrong time again. Okay, I'm really against this kind of way of thinking. I disagree with him with all due respect. Okay, and for him to say Wan Yin needs our support, our protection, he should have said, I need your support, I need your protection. Then I believe it. But don't use Wan Yin. It's not right. Do you hear me, Chung Yin Sunim? You speak Dharma, you have to be careful. You have to be truthful. How do you know Wan Yin needs support and protection? What kind of nonsense is this? Wan Yin doesn't need your support, doesn't need your protection, doesn't need your money. She's perfectly happy with or without your money. To me, it's like talking to children. You may talk to the hippies back then like this, but you cannot talk to people nowadays like this anymore. Okay? Wan Yin protect and support each of us individually. Why do you have to say it? That's Wan Yin's job. It's like he's selling Wan Yin now. Does Wan Yin need to be sold to you? I know I'm sound too radical for you Buddhists, especially you monks and nuns, but you have to change your way of speaking Dharma, your way of thinking, if you want to make a difference. You cannot do it the old way anymore. The old way is dying because it's built on the wrong premises. Okay? Don't say nonsense like this. Wan Yin Bodhisattva protects and supports you. It's Wan Yin's job. We don't have to say that. What do we have to say? We don't have to sell Wan Yin Bodhisattva. To me, this is overselling. And why need to support Wan Yin Bodhisattva? It quietly protects and supports us. Too Chinese. Should bring forth a kind of Bodhi mind and come construct a way place. You come and construct a way place because it's good for you. If you find something useful about a way place, then you naturally come and support and construct a way place. I don't think it's cool for a monk or nun to say, you should come and support the way place. What about our dignity as a monk? Huh? We keep on asking for support and more support and more support. This is what I see everywhere. The monks and nuns, as soon as they have your attention, his attention, he asks for more money. He's doing some fundraising somewhere. We're always asking for your financial support. To me, it's so wrong. Why do you need so much money? How much money you need? Bigger temple, what for again? You know how much you have to pay for electricity just to light this? And then you want to build twice as big to pay more every month? For what? For the same amount of people? To me, it doesn't make sense. Instead, I worry about you monks and nuns. He have to get rid of this old model where we were supposed to build a big temple, a big way place so that Buddhism shines brightly. Buddhism doesn't need to shine brightly. Doesn't need any more attention than it deserves. Buddhism should die if it's useless. And that's the way it is. It's dying now because it's a Dharma ending era where the Buddhist monks and nuns no longer think of serving their disciples, but only think of their disciples serving them. That's wrong. This may be true 40 years ago, and we're grateful that a lot of his disciples came to support the way place and construct the way place, that I was able to later come and practice and meditate and so forth. Yes, I'm very grateful for it. We have to stop it. We have to stop asking people for more and more money. To build a Buddha hall worth $50 million that no one comes? How does it help people to become enlightened? Seriously? How do you measure the utility of people giving us money? Shouldn't we be accountable for that? The way you people have to earn money, you have to account for your salary, for your compensation, and we don't? Is there wisdom in there? That we feel that we're so superior, that we don't have to account for the donations that you made, the sacrifices, financial sacrifices you made? To me, I disagree with this kind of thinking. It's so wrong. Be more humble, Chung-Yin. I'm worried about you. You are so old-fashioned. You want to walk around thinking you are Sunim and you deserve a temple and you want to get a temple for me. Cut it out. I don't need a temple from you. I'm perfectly happy having no temples. Please stop asking for things from people. It's not cool. Stop it. Don't seek temples. Don't seek notoriety. Make yourself useful. With the one person who comes, try your best to help. That's good enough. You don't need to build a brand. You don't need to build a reputation and following a media empire. For what? There's plenty of monks and nuns are doing that already. You don't need any more noise. Be more humble. Don't ever ask for help. Don't ever ask for respect. You earn it. Constructing great place, protecting and supporting One Yin Bodhisattva, okay. Propagating Buddha Dharma, protecting and supporting One Yin Bodhisattva, okay. If it's good for you to do that, feel free to do that, but we shouldn't ask for it. There's a difference. If people ask, okay, are we supposed to help support the way places? Yeah, then we can answer you. But don't open your mouth and ask for support before you asked, and for people ask for it. To me, it's just the wrong premise. Monks and nuns, you have to grow out of this old mentality where we are on a pedestal and people are supposed to come and support us. I disagree with that in all my heart. Instead, every day ask yourself, what have I done to serve, to help someone, to justify my existence, to justify my food that's given to me, the clothes that's given to me, because they come with sacrifices from someone. Worry about those fundamentals. Don't worry about One Yin Bodhisattva. He's perfectly fine with how you. Going to travel, should take the money for the trip and use it to help the way place and not go travel. I happen to like to go to Vietnam if I could. It is so old-fashioned, you know. I please disagree with me. I hope you disagree with me because I feel so lonely. It doesn't bother you? You tell someone like, hey, Lloyd, don't go travel anymore. Shame on you. You should save the money and give it to build the way place. Don't go to Vietnam anymore. And you know what it means? Those boat people that just went through a flood and they are barely making ends meet, they should die so that we have our way place. Oh my God. What kind of thinking is this? What about the world economy? So everyone should stop so that we can have money to build a way place? To do what again, please? I know I sound so radical. It's only because my disciples here are so radical. Personally, I don't think it's cool to ask people to stop spending money. You know why not? Because I go to a restaurant to eat, and I see how people are struggling so much. You know, for me to take out $5 more to give them a tip, you know how happy it makes people? Huh? Have you noticed that? They're struggling so much that everyone is pinching pennies now to give money to the temple. I get your money and donate to the waiter and waitresses to balance things out. Please, let's support the economy. People are suffering so much. Who are we to tell you to make more sacrifices? Because you don't spend money on your restaurants, on the things you're supposed to buy for your family. Your kids suffer. Okay? This is a time for you to bond your family. Okay? Because it will last a lifetime. Who are we to tell you to make sacrifices so that we can build a way place? To me, it's so wrong. It's so self-serving. I don't want you Sunims to think like that. I know that's how Sunims think over there. I'm worried about that. I ask you, we call it American Mahayana because American means that we ask ourselves every day, what did we do to deserve your support? Have we done enough? And the answer should always be, no, it's not enough. That's American Buddhism. It's not the old Vietnam Buddhism, Korean Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism where the teaching is correct, but it's no longer appropriate for the times. It's the wrong audience. For old people like her, yeah, they've been brainwashed. They're supposed to help the temple, supposed to give up everything for the temple. That's why they're renounced by their own children, their own grandchildren, and say, Grandma is crazy. Instead, I want you, new Sanghas, new generation, to think in terms of, what have I done? Have I done enough? That's how you make Buddhism stronger, not asking for help and asking for people to make sacrifices constantly. I find it disgusting that monks and nuns grow up, learn from each other how to get more money out of you. What's so wrong? Don't go to the theater. My God, theaters are dying. If they die, it's no more James Bond movies. It'll be the end of the world for me. Eat nice things, take money to buy nice things, save it, support the monastery, and then buy some fur coats. I don't think he realized how inappropriate it is in our times to talk like this. When you kill a lot of animals to make a fur coat, so that's like this a good thing, equivalent to building a temple. I know I'm making fun of him. I know he doesn't mind. I hope he doesn't mind. Correct myself. Okay? But it's so Chinese. 几夜成酒. And so building a way place is like as desirable as killing foxes to make a fur coat. I don't think he's sensitive enough to American culture. Under the arm, make a fur coat. You got on the arm to make a fur coat. Okay. What kind of fur coat making? They're making it everyone needs. Every one of you should buy a fur coat. How's that? That's what he's saying. What happened to all his disciples? They should be calling in and say, you are heretic. Okay. You should be banished. Making one that everyone needs. The fur coat is a way place. And you agree with this? You have no problem with the saying, but he's saying everyone needs a way place? Not the Catholics, not the Protestants, not our neighbors here. They don't like it. Since when does everyone need this way place? And you have to come and support and protect it. I feel sorry for him. Back then, he's so desperate that that he has to teach all these new people the proper mindset, and he did a good job doing that. But I don't think the message still makes sense nowadays. You come and cultivate the way here, accomplish the cultivate, become a Buddha. This is all due to your meritorious service. And why do you bring it up? If this is counter to the spirit of giving. You give money to build a way place. You give money to buy incense. You give money to buy Dharma instruments. And you should forget it right away. You should not even remember you had anything to do with it. Because you didn't. We're forever indebted to you. And that would be a terrible thing. Have you thought about it, Chung Yim Sanim? If everyone comes and say, I have this part in building this way place, I built it up from when we were still a dump here, a gold forest, and then my wife, I took my wife here on weekends when she's not working, put on our face mask and we scrape out all so much muck off the walls, huh? And Jung was only walking in and out. We are the one who was doing everything, and Jung was ordering us out. I said, no, you should do it. And then after this, you should do that, Vietnamese go chỉ tay năm ngón, pointing with the 5 fingers. You. you give away the way place. If you have whatever you can give away and forget it. Don't say I've done my meritorious service so that you all became Buddhas and you owe me. What kind of Buddhists are we? We keep track of every single little thing we do for others. Please disagree with me. Why do I feel so lonely? It's like this all of a sudden the room has become so cold. Huh? Am I the only one who dares talk like this about him, about his Dharma? To me, it doesn't make sense. It's just not okay to ask people for things. You know, in America, if you're hungry, you know what you do? You don't ask for food. You don't ask for money. You go to soup kitchen. You go to the food pantry. Because in America, we respect your dignity. We don't make you beg for things, ask for things. This is America, folks. We may have a lot of problems, but respect your dignity. It's so important to us as a culture. Where all the people come here from Shanghai and looking so miserable. And you know, we always try our best to help you preserve your dignity. We won't publish your photo, for example. It's so important to us. Because you know why it's important to us? Because when we came here, we're hungry too. And we're desperate too. For things, for a lamp, for clothes for our children, for food. It's given to us by the churches. So who am I now to tell you you should make sacrifices, don't give money to the church because you're better off giving money to the temple? It's just wrong to me as an immigrant. You know, there's such old thinking. Yes, it's true. If they have a way place and you come, you cultivate, they always have. But why do you keep track of these things? It's so petty. You know. I help build that way place there. Go forth is part of it. It's me. I'd be so embarrassed. I said, go support not the Tibetan temple. Don't support us, please. It's too embarrassing. Give and forget. Don't keep track. You of your meritorious service. My God. What kind of Buddhism are we? If every little thing we do, we remember. And when you bring forth this kind of Bodhi mind in the future, we will definitely attain the fruition of Bodhi, meaning you reach first stage arhatship and that's it. If you behave like this is how far you're going to go. That's why they're stuck over there. It's so petty, keeping track of little things you do for others. Where's your heart? Can't you give and forget? Because your heart is capable of doing that if you allow it, you give it a chance. Yes, K, YouTube.
하이라이트 롱님의 코멘트입니다. 밍크 코트, 가죽 자켓, 가죽 신발 등 동물 가죽 등으로 된 옷을 착장하는 것이 수행자에게 안 좋은 영향을 끼치지 않을지 여쭤봅니다.
This question is from Highlight Long from Korean YouTube. Items like mink coat, leather jacket, leather shoes, wearing them, does it give bad influence to the cultivators?
Does it give what?
Bad influence?
Influence?
Bad influence, negative influence to the cultivator?
I think it's give good influence, don't you think? We true cultivators look at you and say, we don't want to be like you. So it's very good influence. So what are you going to do to these people who bought a leather jacket already, suede boots already? What are they supposed to do? It's always a big problem with that. Yeah. Any ideas? What are they supposed to do? They're gonna be a good influence on the rest of us. That's what they're gonna do. Try to avoid those things you can in the future, because it inflicts a lot of pain and suffering on animals. And intrinsically, if you take pleasure in wearing those things and knowing that deep down it's from the pain and suffering of animals, it sort of makes the joy and pleasure you experience lose its appeal, less appealing. Okay? So try to reduce that. But you don't need to do anything crazy like giving it away and shredding it and, and denouncing it and whatever. What else can you do? I don't know. I never had to face this problem. My students usually are poor, so I never had this issue. But for us, we're guilty as well. Our drums are made of leather. I personally love taiko drums. To me, it's a work of art. You don't want to lose that important tradition. When you take this tree trunk and they carve out the whole tree trunk, not put slats together, you just take out this tree trunk, okay? This big tree trunk, and they cut it, and they age it, and then they carve it out, one piece, okay? And then they take this beautiful skin that you just killed off some cattle, and then they tack it, and they pull it tight, and tack on the other side. And it's just a work of art, because when you hit it, the sound goes for miles and miles and miles. To me, it's a work of art. So that's the nature of our existence. There's always plus and minuses. If you think that leather is a bad thing, it has some good things about it as well. Okay? And so don't go crazy. Just I would teach you, I would rather you think of it as, if you can avoid inflicting pain on others, okay, then avoid it if you can. But if you don't go crazy and say, I will never touch an animal thing again, then the taiko business will die out. There's no more taiko. It would be terrible. One day, I would love the kids to do taiko music. Because with the taiko drum there, you give him a small one someone about his size here can do a lot of damage and draw a lot of attention. It'd be so cool. Okay. I try to not be controversial, but I'm not doing a good job. To me, I disagree with this kind of old thinking. Attain the fruition of Bodhi. Again, I'm cautioning you. If you so petty, and I stress the word petty, because petty people, they keep track of the things they give others. That's pettiness. Lloyd, don't look at me like that. Control yourself. You pretend. This is when you look down. You don't look at me like goo goo gaga eyes. That's not good. Because it works both ways. For you, you are so petty and you keep track of what you give to anyone, to your own wife, to your own children. It is so petty. Don't count. Love cannot be counted. What is the matter with you? You love your children and you count what you're giving them? Let them count. They're learning how to count. It's a good thing. But you don't count. Okay? And so that's from your perspective. The monks and nuns should stop selecting people who are good at doing fundraising because they're good at counting. Please, cut it out. Don't be so petty. All of you so petty, really annoying. Yes, JMT. And in particular, speaking of JMT, don't go crazy on me pinching pennies either. We're not that poor. We're poor, but we're not that poor. I don't want people to be so obsessed about it. It just kills me. It is this old thinking where, like Teji Sunim, he said, my job is to pinch pennies. And you would not believe it. This is so embarrassing to me. I want to remind her and tell all of you. We went to the Bhikshuni Association. Okay? I, as an American monk, came there and we rented their place for 2 hours, okay, because Deji Sinim knows them well, and she got me to go see the head of the Bhikshuni Association. I was so honored. I was secretly hoping that my disciples would take photos. None of them took photos. Okay? And so you don't get this kind of opportunity. Let me tell you where I came from. People ignore me. I'm so used to going everywhere and people ignore me. It's like something like that. I'm so used to because walking everywhere by myself in Taiwan, in Vietnam temple and so forth, because I look different. And then, they would say, send the dog, say, chase him away. And the dog, ooh. And I would recite my shield right away. Because I didn't want to lose my cool. And put, dắt giò lên cổ mà chạy, It would be so uncool. So this is one, let me tell you, I found out how powerful the hands and eyes were very early on. Because they send dogs at you. The Taiwanese in particular, they have dogs everywhere. And they're big. Anyway, and so going back to the Bhikshuni Association, I was so proud. I brought my own abbots with me, and then Teji Sunim sat next to the head of Bhikshuni Association. She's like a big shot, okay, in Korea. People don't come to her unless they have a check, okay? And I only brought some Taiwanese tea, cheap Taiwanese tea. So I presented to her, and then she's very polite. She said, "Where are you from? How old are you? What's your name, son?" That kind of thing. No, they're very polite. Koreans are too polite. Anyway, they talk, and then we talked for 5 minutes. And Teji Nim said, I brought my master here so that we hope that you give us a break on the rent. I said, no. No, it's never my intention, please. Please. And Teji Sunim was so proud. Said, "Oh, I shouldn't have said anything." So I said, Teji Sunim, please don't do that. Don't embarrass her. She's very big. That's not haggling over $50, She got a break already. Instead of, like $400, she got it down to $275. And she's still haggling. This Bhikshuni is crazy. No. You need to learn, Teji Sunim, to respect people's time. It costs money, okay? At her level, she doesn't talk $50. She talks at least $100. And so my face actually turned white. I said, "Oh my God." And she's my senior nun, representing the American Mahayana. And so I said, no, please, Teji Sunim, but please, that's not bother. The great nun with these trivial things. And you know what? She says, "Oh, don't worry about it, Master. She's supposed to do that." I know it's very tough for these people. You guys don't realize how glamorous it is for us to have a big building, because during a pandemic, when there's these office buildings here are going for dirt cheap, they're so desperate to unload the office buildings. And I got smart. I said, let's go buy one. No money, but this is me. And having no money never stopped me from anything. I dream big, okay? So we found this building in Santa Clara. And you were there? Yeah, he brought us there, I think. And then Lloyd was the agent. So we walk on this gorgeous building. We drove to the parking lot. It has like 1,000 parking spots. And I look at the parking spot. I want this. I need this. And this is success, And so I love the parkings already. And the building is our building, you look at the wall, you can tell it's very cheap paint and, the building there, you look at the building, is the materials that's used is really high quality. Very, very high end. Even the glass, I look at the glass windows there, I felt like and go like this. Because it's so beautiful, And so we walked in there, and Lloyd said, "Would you like me to show you around?" I said, "Oh, yeah, please." And the basement is about like as big as Valley Fair. And I was drooling. I said, "My God, how much is it?" It said $7 million. Yeah, exactly what I said. I want to buy it. Where do I sign? Exactly. $7 million, let me tell you. It's big as Valley Fair. It has a license for a church already. It's very difficult to get a license for a church. Okay? And so I said, only cost low. I said, it only cost $7 million, master. I said, oh yeah, what do I sign? And we walked, the basement, you walk forever. You never see, you go from this end to the other, you cannot see for at least 2 or 3 hours. It's how big the building was. You know, and they're so desperate, they're trying to unload it. They asked only $7 million. And I had like 7,000 in my bank account. And I said, let me sell everything. I don't care. $7 million, I will give up everything, including my disciples. All of you. Drums, bells, dishes, candles, statues. $7 million, I figure if I bought a building $7 million, I can retire in a few years. Okay? And I will walk, and then it suddenly dawned on me. Even the doors are like so thick you can't even hear, you know, what they're talking on the other side. And it's real wood, you know, that fire door thing there. Everywhere is a fire door. And then Lloyd told me, he said, you know what the utility bill here for the basement alone? Yeah, just a basement. It's like $100,000 a month. I said, I'm out of here, let's go. Let's not torment ourselves. $100,000 just for electricity. We're not talking about watering the plant yet. And Chin was very smart. She says, that's be reasonable. That's find a smaller building. Women are so greedy, you know. They're not scared of $100,000 utility bill. They said, I can do this. How do we get there? Oh, big buildings. This is why it's so scary. What are we paying for electricity like here? It's like $1,000 a month, right? For this tiny room here, $1,000. It's not? So can you imagine a building that they pay $100,000 just for utilities, how big the building is? Yeah. And then you know what they ended up selling the building for? According to Lloyd, which you never trust a salesman. $17 million. It's a steal. It's so cheap. If you can afford the utility bill, it's very, very cheap. And so that's why when I walk into that Bhikshuni Association building, you know how big that thing was? It's humongous. Teji Sunim. Is that correct? It's big building, right? And here they're renting us for 2 hours for like $400, and we're still haggling over $50. $400 is not enough to heat that Buddha hall. And we're haggling. I feel for those women who have to pay for these bills every month. You go crazy, you know. Anyway, so that's why after that building in Santa Clara, I'm very happy with gold force. I said, this is my kind of size. Surrounded the people I love instead of, because if you bought that building there, I become a landlord. That's the only way to survive. You know, you did partition it and you rent it to this person and that person, you know, the whole building. You keep only a small section by the size of gold forest for yourself. Anyway, you will definitely attain the fruition of Bodhi. Let me stress this for you again. If you're so petty, yes, you have a lot of blessings, but they will amount to beans. Because that's all you're gonna get if you're so petty. Keep on calculating and on remembering how much you did and how much, you know, how important you are. You will reach first stage arhatship, second stage arhatship, that's it. You don't even make a third. Let me warn you, don't make that mistake. It's not worth it. Okay, that's the next section.
有的人呢，又打了妄想了。说这个师傅啊，现在是变了。以前这个师傅不要钱，现在啊，公开和人要钱了。
Just by changing this small issue, if you can modify it a bit, the way place can be successfully established.
We're on slide
Continue.
313.
Yeah, next one.
Next one.
Mm-hmm.
13. Instead of spending money on new clothes,
Next one. We heard that before. 313.
3:13. Okay. Some people have started false thinking again, saying, "This master has changed now. In the past, master didn't want money, but now he publicly asks people for money."
Yeah, what happened? It's continue. Now it becomes interesting. What happened to him?
If I had known this, no matter what, I would never have dared to take refuge. But now it is already too late. Even if you regret it, it is too late.
我无论如何也不敢故意，可是现在已经晚了。 你就后悔呀，也来不及了。你要知道啊，你的钱就是师傅的钱，师傅的钱也就是你的钱，没有什么分别。
You should know your money is just the master's money. The master's money is also just your money. There is no difference.
那么你要是一定要和师傅分别，师傅也没有法子。不过道理是这样子。
So if you must distinguish your money from the master's money, there's nothing master can do. Nevertheless, that is the principle.
因为师傅和徒弟不分彼此。
Because there is no distinction between master and disciple.
那么，你徒弟有钱了，师傅就有钱；师傅有钱了，徒弟也有钱。
So if your disciple has money, then the master has money. If the master has money, the disciple also has money.
所以呀、那么我们这个道场也不是师傅，也不是徒弟的，也是师傅的，也是徒弟的，啊，俺们大家人人都有份。
Therefore, this way place of ours is neither the master's nor the disciple's. It belongs to both the master and the disciple. Everyone has a share.
不过你们不会造这个道场，啊，要这个有个师傅来提倡你们造道场。
However, you wouldn't have built this way place. A master is needed to encourage you all to build a way place.
So the audio ends here, so I'll read the Chinese. 就好像你们本来不会成佛，现在教你学佛法，你一点一点就会成佛了，一样的道理。
Just like how originally you wouldn't become a Buddha, now I teach you the Buddha Dharma. Little by little, you will become a Buddha. It's the same principle.
Okay, I think it's a new section. Let's talk about money. 312. Attain the fruition of Bodhi. Okay. Bottom line is that it's not talk. Whatever you do, it should have some concrete results. And I feel that that's what differentiates Mahayana from the other approaches, is that we want to bring concrete benefits to you, not just talk. Okay, so that concrete results in terms of your samadhi power, in terms of fruition of Bodhi, where you unfold your wisdom and your life will be vastly improved. And we've done that the last 19 years. Build this machinery here where people come gather and cultivate when they could, and then quite a few people attain the fruition of Bodhi as well. So bottom line is not talk. Okay? You justify your existence by helping others attain the fruition of Bodhi. No excuses. If they don't attain the fruitions, it's our fault. It's because you're not good enough yet. We don't offer excuses. If they're not good enough, they leave. But if they stick around, then it's our responsibility to help people attain fruition. Okay. Some people start thinking, Master has changed now. He want money in the past. Now he publicly asks people for money. Did he really answer this or no? He never really answered this, did he? I know I would never dare take refuge. Now it's already too late. You regret it, it's too late. And then next logic is that your money is my money is your money. It's so un-American. Your money is your money. My money is none of your damn business. But it's funny, he says, okay, if you have money, then it's just like I have money. Yeah. Is there a logic for that, in a Chinese culture, Asian culture? I don't understand that logic. That your money is my money, and my money is your money. I never thought of it that way ever. Seriously. My money used to be like my wife's money, and she spends like crazy. And I said, well, it's time that you keep your own money. So, you should think of it as no distinction between money between master and disciple. That's grounds for abuse. If your disciple has money, master has money. Money, disciple has money. No, if I have money, you ain't touching it. It's my hard-earned money. A way place is neither master nor disciple. As long both a master and disciple, everyone has a share. It's true in principles, but it's kind of hard to explain. It's neither the masters nor the disciples. It's wrong to think that this way places belongs to any monk or any nun. It belongs to the permanently dwelling Sangha of the 10 directions. We are simply managing it for them. That's all. So it happened is because of the combined blessings of the Sangha of the 10 directions. We are part of it, but we don't have sole credit for it. So that's why I'm surprised that he chooses to explain things in such a very myopic way. That like he's teaching children only. You're a child, don't worry about it, Master will take care of your money for you. Just give me your money, give me your paycheck. And if you do that, Chung Yin Sunim, you never hear the end of it, because they would tell the whole world, all Korea, that they gave money to you. Everyone has a share. Of course everyone has a share. Because if you don't look at it as your own, then everyone has a share. You look at it as your own. Like most monks would say, I worked so hard to build this way place, and therefore it's my way place, and my disciples' way place, then the benefits that accrue to the donors and supporters are very, very small. Are we there yet, 3:20? Okay, and so...
So we finished reading 321.
321. And so he says, you wouldn't know, you wouldn't understand, so it's very important to build a way place. That's why I'm teaching you to build a way place, and I'm encouraging you and asking for your support. He didn't really answer the question directly. How come he started asking for money? And I feel it's better to be consistent. If you don't ask for money, don't ever ask for money, because it's confusing to the disciples. Choose. Either you ask for money, you should be always doing fundraising. It's much easier to expect that. Master, every time Master comes, you avoid him. He goes this way, you go the other. Much easier, much more manageable. Because if not, then he doesn't know when you're going to ask for money. He makes the relationship too complicated. Encourage you to build a way place. No, seriously, he really had to work hard to teach his disciples. Let me assure you, he doesn't need to ask for help. Okay? He has plenty of blessings. You know, these way places are the blessings from the Master. He chose to build a lot of way places, own a lot of land, because that's, I heard that excuse that he gave, that he has the blessings so that he can buy all these properties that will be used in the future. I just don't see such a future at all. I see total waste. Since when does Buddhism need things? I don't get it. Instead of investing in buying land and buildings and so forth and paying for insurance, electricity and water and so forth, you know, it's very difficult for them. They own so many properties that the guy in Canada, that used to be head of Canada, he's driving around the whole month from property to property to property to property. So I was a novice, was manning the main temple there, Avatamsaka Monastery, and he's driving around. He only comes back for 1 or 2 weeks a month. They have so many properties, they rented them out. And so what they learned, and what he taught me is that in the future, buy land only, don't buy buildings. Because buildings, you have to manage it. Land, you can leave it alone. So they would have these way places where they own the properties and they have a small house there and they would rent it out, and then he has to go and collect the rent and talk to those tenants constantly. Okay, so he has a lot of properties, lots of land. So they are a big landlord. So I have all these things here, but no people to cultivate. To me, it's encouraging greed. Okay, I have to teach you you wouldn't become a Buddha, so I have to teach you Buddha Dharma, and you little by little, and you will become a Buddha. I think he's going somewhere. Anyone has any questions and comments? Yes, JMT. Teiji, what do you have to say for yourself? No? Go ahead, JMT.
안녕하세요, 마스터. 저도 스승님의 돈이랑 제자의 돈은 다르다고 생각하고요. 근데 저도 마음속으로는 은근히 스승의 돈이랑 제자의 돈이 같다고 생각하는 게 좀 마음이 더 편한 것 같고, 그래야 뭔가 스승한테 제가 의지하고 그러는 마음이 좀 있는 것 같습니다. 제가 절에 오는 것도 절에 의지하고 절에서 밥을 먹고 하는 게 절에 좀 의지하게 되는 것 같습니다. 네.
Master, the part that master's money and disciples' monies are different. I agree with that. But when I truly look inside in my mind, and it feels more comfortable if I think that master's money is mine and my money is master's. because it feels more comfortable that I could depend on master. I come to the way place, I come here, eat, and then cultivate. I'm depending on master.
No, you're wrong. Let me explain to you right away. Make sure you understand this. Okay? The money in my bank account is not yours. I don't care what you think. If you're comfortable, not comfortable with that, I don't care. What is this with you Koreans? I'm old, I know, but you can't talk to me like this. In America, we have accountants who do not allow us to touch money. We always hire a Jewish accountant who says, you don't touch money, you hear it's my money. No, you can't think like that. It's self-delusion. You know, this physical money is, you feel it. Jesus. My money is same as yours? That's the first time. Nice try. Go ahead. Explain yourself.
선칠 때 절에 와서 수행을 하면서 돈을 내지 않는 거는 그럼 괜찮은가요?
So, Master, during Chanchi, I stay at the way place, but I don't pay for it. Is that okay?
If you feel it's okay, I have no problems.
됐습니다.
Some Vietnamese guy here said, I'm not happy, but the Vietnamese, you don't understand, you have to go be here. The Vietnamese is very subtle. Okay? Even though we don't charge money, but you come to lunch, you don't bring anything, they give you dirty looks. And eventually you get it. Eventually someone brings something. And that's why I get so fat and go to Go Force. Because peer pressure, They every day at lunch they look at each other. What did she bring? What did he bring? What did he bring? And it's insane, let me tell you. Because it's like arms race. Once you have that thing where, where people are keeping track who's bringing what, and then there's an arm race. He says, I'm going to do better tomorrow. And so it's not a good thing, let me tell you. As a monk, I worry about my waistline. Yes, definitely. In Korea, you only have to deal with Teji Sunim. Here, it's very subtle. It's all the women on this side. And, excuse me, let me tell you, you Koreans don't know how bad it is here. Okay? It gets so bad. It got to the point where people who come to lunch late, because the Vietnam people, lots of Vietnamese here, the Vietnam people have this cultural thing where you don't want to be the first one to go to eat because it looks like you're hungry or you're so desperate, So you always tend to be like middle or last ones, okay? You don't want to be the first half. Second half is better for you. Okay, so first, that's why lunch here, we started usually, let me tell you, I swear to God, I started 11 a.m., no one shows up, so we got a little bit later, 11:15, and then now we really don't do anything until 11:30. No one really comes until 11:30. Or they come at 11 and they walk around for half an hour. So that, so that it doesn't look like they're here for food only. It's how bad it is. So let me tell you, the peer pressure is intense. And let me tell you, I find it so funny. I know you foreigner, you're not Vietnam, so you don't understand. So the Vietnam put so much pressure on each other that, it's a nice thing because I don't have to pretend to say anything. They always keep an eye. They give you approving looks when you bring some food. It's very subtle, or if you don't bring anything, for a few times, they don't smile at you anymore. It's so subtle, let me tell you. And forget about dropping money in a donation box. No one can see it. You better give something visible. It's so subtle, And I have my stomach to prove it. Anyway. And it is so subtle, let me tell you, you guys, you Koreans are free from, don't have to deal with this. It is so bad that money you drop in donation box doesn't count anymore, so that's why we don't bother checking donation boxes. No one gives anything in donation boxes except for the newcomers. They didn't know, so when newcomers come, we check. Otherwise, we forget it. We stop wasting time. And it's so bad that the men feel so much pressure because they have to run away from home from the wives. They say, honey, I'll be right back. And they disappear for lunch. And the wives don't realize, the wives usually think lunch is like from noon to 1 o'clock. But actually we eat from noon, we eat from 1 to 1 o'clock, 11 to 1 o'clock. Anyway, so the men are so bad that every time they bring something, okay, they wait until 11:30. Because you bring it before 11:30, no one notices it. So you bring things. Chengdu, you need to understand these tricks. Your wife had to learn it the hard way. And so you bring there and you casually drop, boom, on the table, when people are eating, so you drop the whole thing on, on the table. And then you make sure they tell, hi, master, I brought you something today. It's so subtle, the pressure we have here. But you're right. JMT, don't worry about it. Wait until I send Vietnamese disciples there to train the Korean Sinims. No, truly, folks, please. I'm getting fat. It's truly free, folks. Okay? Come eat. It's okay. You cultivate. You come and eat. Don't worry about it. There's no peer pressure. Don't let the Vietnamese frighten you. The reason it's free because we don't have to pay $100,000 for electricity every month. So we can afford to be generous and support people who cultivate. It's so sad because I notice every single temple, I hope we'll always remain this small here and sparsely attended, because you can imagine a big temple, they have so much pressure to pay for electricity and the manpower and the food they have to buy to serve. I understand a lot of pressure. We're lucky, in that not many people cultivate, so we don't have to worry about it. People are frightened when they come here. So you sit for 10 hours? They turn white and they run away. Yeah, it's so fast. Anyway, I think time is up. It's nothing important. Anyone would like to ask anything that important that we supposed to talk about? It's only 2 more weeks left, folks. Okay? I hope you become enlightened. Okay? All right. Thank you, everyone.